Welcome back, class. The final phase of the turn is the end phase, and we've already touched on it a little bit more in our previous videos, but to reiterate, the end phase is where everyone clears their card pool, starting with the turn player. It doesn't all happen simultaneously because there are some effects that happen when they're cleared from your card pool at the end of the turn, so it's best to go with the turn player first, clearing from left to right. Clearing from right to left, I should say. I'm doing this backwards, so it's really hard for me. Yes, clearing from right to left. Doing this backwards is a mind trip. And then the defending player clearing from right to left. So, again, any card that successfully passed any foundation or asset that successfully passed its control check to be played will be built into your stage. Any attack that dealt damage, signified by being turned sideways, you may discard if you have no use for momentum, or you may take it under your character face down as momentum. You are allowed to look at your momentum throughout the game, but it does have to go face down because some cards have momentum abilities that let them go into the momentum face up, and you can use abilities on them there. But that's a very niche case. So usually, if you're taking momentum, the attack has to have dealt damage, and it goes under your character face down like this, and any attack that did not deal damage would be discarded. Then your rival would clear from right to left any cards that they played as blocks, or if they had any actions that they had to play during your turn. Anything that did not deal damage would be discarded. Then the turn transfers over to the next player if there are no end of turn effects that need to be resolved. There are some cards that say at the start of the end phase you can do something. There's a card called Airy, which is an asset that says at the start of your end phase you're allowed to ready one foundation. And that would be before you even clear your card pool. So anything that has a resolve effect that starts at the start of the end phase would start before you clear your card pool. Anything that says at the end of the turn, there's an asset that says at the end of the turn, if a player dealt damage, they may add the top card of their deck to their momentum. So that would happen after you've cleared your card pool, then that effect would go off. So when dealing with end of turn effects or end phase effects, please make sure you're checking to make sure if it activates at the beginning of the end step, or the beginning of your end phase, or the end of the turn. And that'll signify if it happens before or after you clear your card pool. Then, once all of those abilities are resolved, if any, the turn will transfer to the next player, and that player may begin their ready step, or their ready phase by readying their foundations, reviewing a card, and drawing a card. And that's the basics of the turn. Like I said, the complex part is the combat phase, which has pretty much everything happening in it, but the end phase is the most simple. It is, as its name states, it is the ending of the turn. It is putting to a close any lasting effects that you have, and preparing for the transfer of the turn. So I hope you found this helpful, even though it is a very self-explanatory video. And until next time, class dismissed.